Hey everybody, Teddy J on Crypto for GrowMyBag.tv. Hope you're having a good one. What's good? Sorry I'm running a little bit late tonight. Yeah, just a lot on the plate. Just a lot going on. It's all good stuff, but still trying to help my daughter, find a new car. Got a lot of work going on. Let me just close some of these applications because there's a whole bunch of stuff that I'm just not using right now. Woo! But the day has been good. Got a lot of work done. Got some automation in house. Got a lot of stuff going. Was doing research on some stuff. Device trust client user. I don't know what that is. Never seen it before. It's weird when you see things on your computer that you don't know. Huh. Oh, Citrix. Yeah, we can get rid of that. So, have been looking for, that's right, because my whole computer restarted. Ugh. Sorry about that, guys. You ever have that problem? Your computer just restarts just because it feels like it? So that's what I'm going through right now. Is my computer just restarted because it felt like it, while it was sleeping overnight, it upgraded itself and did all that stuff. It doesn't give me any warning. When I started this morning, it was freaking on mute. It turned off my microphone. Just, I don't like this, automatic restart nonsense. And Microsoft makes it hard for you to actually find it to turn it off. But tonight's question. What crypto exchange was just hacked for $42 million? Coinbase, OKX, Kraken, other. And if it's other, put it in the comments. Paula, thank you for letting me know that you invested in yourself. I greatly appreciate it. And so does the rest of the community. Woo! So I hope you guys had a good day. What happened today? Let's see. What's going on, Lex? Don't come here with no trouble, man. Don't come here with no trouble. So what happened today? So Bitcoin shot up. I mean, if you got the memo, right? Everybody got that memo. New all-time high is $111,970.17. That's the new all-time high for Bitcoin. Wow. So yeah, and everything started popping up. Ethereum popped up. Just everything started popping up. So you've got Ethereum up. You've got XRP up, Solana's up, Doge is up. As a matter of fact, I'm actually looking at the wrong thing. Maybe I can go here and look at it. Let's see, top winners. Now this is going to be interesting. Actually, you know what? I should bring you guys with me so you can see what I'm looking at. I'm looking at the GMB crypto tracker, and there's my ugly face. All right, so GMB crypto tracker, and let's see who went up the most. I don't know who these are. Zebek. We've been talking nonsense about Zebek. Zebek popped up 27.253, and it's got a GMB X factor of 0.92. Wow. So it got hammered and then exploded up. I know whoever's still holding Zebek must be at least a little bit happy. I wouldn't have been able to predict that because I do not follow that coin. I just know that a couple of people did, or they were involved in it, and hopefully they made money from it. Then we've got EtherFi was up 16.27% with a GMBX factor of 6.84. No, I have no idea about that. Dog with Hat up 13.58% with a GMBX factor of 4.03. And I will tell you, I still think Dog with Hat can actually make that GMBX factor. Same thing with Brett, up 13% with a GMBX factor of 3.75. Yes, another meme coin that I think can do it. Let's see. Stellar up 11.36% with a GMBX factor of 2.03. Obviously, I think Stellar is going to do it. And some people might say, why? Same kind of technology as that Ripple team, right? Go research the history of Stellar. You'll see what I'm talking about. What else is up that I'm paying attention to? Radium was up just a little while ago. It's up 8.97% with a GMBX factor of 5.76. No joke right there. That is no joke right there. I know a few people follow BitTensor. I don't, but I know a few people do. It's got a GMBX factor of 1.17, and it was up 8.4%. Polygon up another 8.36% with a GMBX factor of 5.19. That's the old that's the new one. That's the Matic one. And then you have Polygon, which is the old Matic. Who would be holding that? Why would you do that? It's got a GMB X factor of 13.04. Ouch. Right? But everybody here, look at Curved Out, up another 8.08% with a GMB X factor of 26.55. Yeah, no, it's not going to make that. But I think you might still be able to make money. Rick Ritchie, thank you for letting me know that you invested in yourself, and thank you for giving me your answer in the chat the way I asked. The Sandbox up 7.99%. I mean, 7.99384%. GMB X factor 30.14. Do I think it's ever going to make that 30.14? No, but I do think gaming is making a comeback. And so I think Sandbox can still do well, even without making it to its all-time high. I think gaming makes it to its all-time high when all of the game platforms start taking off, and it's going to be a little while. That's that whole metaverse thing that's going on. Because you guys know, you know, right? I'm a member of the Metaverse Standards Forum, a whole about interoperability and all that good stuff. Yeah. So I think they're going to do it? I think they will do it. I think they will. Just no time soon. But even if we were still using the term cycle, within this cycle, I still think Sandbox can do well. I really do think that Sandbox can still do well. So we went through the numbers. I'm dying to see who's on the loser side. Yeah, the losers end right here, right? Bonk was down 4%, but that's below my 5% rule. Don't understand why it's down, but it was down. Let's see. Yeah, there's nobody else on here that I'd be paying attention to that would be down, because right here, this is a stable coin, the one that I would never talk about. This is a stable coin, it's down, but that's not something I would talk about. And then you go into positive numbers. That's how far up the market has gone today. That ought to tell you something. That really ought to tell you something. So there's a lot. Jetpack, what's going on? Also investing in yourself today. Thank you for letting me know. I am super excited for the market, but I'm cautiously optimistic, right? I told you before that we were having a problem at 109. We kept hitting that old high, a previous high, and it was becoming a resistance. And I said, we might be on the precipice of something happening. I said that this morning, and what happened? It hit. That's right. It started taking off this morning. Now, I guess you guys want to kind of get into the news, right? Kind of want to get into that. So there's a BRICS summit going on. Chinese President Xi Jinping absence from the BRICS summit is interpreted as a strategic power move, signaling geopolitical maneuvering. BRICS. The C in BRICS is China. Yeah. That is a geopolitical power move. I told you before that BRICS as an answer to the dollar. I hope I didn't make a mess on my shirt. It's one of my favorite shirts. They're trying to make it so that you move to BRICS over the dollar and all that good stuff. That's great. I think of it more as a political block than I do as a dollar disruptor, dominance disruptor. Now, so when I look at BRICS, I kind of go, who's involved in BRICS? Saudi Arabia, China, India, Russia, Brazil. Ooh. And when I look at BRICS, I kind of sit there and I kind of go, okay, so I described to you before how India, as happy as they may be that they're getting, it's the world's technology hub. In terms of hands-on resources, that's the world technology hub right there. Dead serious. Everybody's outsourcing it to India. And so I think India has a big exposure problem. And you might be going, Eddie, what kind of exposure could they possibly have? What kind of problems could they possibly have? They're getting all of the jobs from the United States and other countries. Like, what kind of problem could they have? Exactly that. Companies are starting to realize, and people in India are starting to realize, we should be making more money, because people will change jobs for a little bit of a raise, and that raises the game, right? So you've got to pay more, right? You have to pay to play. So India's value is slowly decreasing. So you have companies looking at other countries. Yeah. So that's their exposure problem. The other issue is that you also have companies like Citigroup or Citi that are trying to move jobs back to the United States. I think Citi's ahead of the curve. I think Citi moving jobs back to the US is ahead of the curve compared to its peers. And it's a major problem for everybody else. Major problem for everybody else. Because there's very little, if you're in the United States, there's very little overlap between the United States and India. So you're literally waiting for things to happen. Dead serious. You have the issues with, vacations, is a big deal. But the real big deal are the holidays. That's right. The holidays are a problem. So you're looking at the value of having all of your resources in India being diminished. And that's why I think Citi is ahead of the curve in thinking like that. They're trying to diminish their risk, consolidate resources. There are some seriously good resources in the United States. And I think what Citi is saying is, while everybody else starts to lay off, we're going to be picking cream of the crop. And they already have, like their AI team, they picked cream of the crop from other banks, including Goldman Sachs. They picked cream of the crop. They're snatching. Something else about Citi that caught my attention is that they don't really have a strong trading platform, that people know about, that's open to the public. They don't really have that self-service trading platform. Think E-Trade or Thinkorswim. They really don't have anything like that that's got a name to it, right? What does that mean? What does that mean? Well, I'm going to tell you what I think it means. I think it means that Citi could be sniffing around for who can get bought. It's a lot easier to buy an exchange, right? If you want to get into crypto, it's a lot easier to buy an exchange. Boop, be done with it. And it's something for you to contemplate as you realize that Kraken is a freaking bank. Kraken is a bank, and they've got NinjaTrader. I keep saying it, and I keep saying it as an example to everybody else. Kraken is a bank, and they have NinjaTrader. NinjaTrader is a platform that trades stocks. Kraken itself is a platform where you can trade crypto, put those together, and you have a beautiful thing. So what did they buy when they got NinjaTrader? They bought a hell of a lot of customers. They bought a whole development ecosystem. That's what they bought. When they bought NinjaTrader, it was a serious shot across the bow to all of the major banks, all of the smaller banks. You want to know who is actually looking to buy a bank? Metaplanet is looking to buy a bank. Ooh. There's some interesting stuff going on in the financial services space, in the financial space, right? And I'm just thinking that we could see somebody get snatched up because you've got both E-Trade and Thinkorswim saying they're integrating crypto, right? Okay. But what's the problem with that? Well, the problem with that is they're probably going to start off with the two most popular cryptos, and it's not necessarily going to be as robust as it, could be. It'll take time to build it, launch it, and really flesh it out. Start bringing on more coins and all that stuff. I don't know what either one of those two companies are doing. But buying a small exchange could actually do it. Buying a small exchange could do it. Which leads me to, again, today's question. Which crypto exchange was just jacked or hacked? jacked for $42 million. Coinbase, because you know they went down a little while ago. OKX, Kraken, or other. I'm just going to leave that out there for you. I'm telling you, the market for mergers and acquisitions, I think it's going to heat up. I think it's going to heat up. Remember that, you know, there was an M&A kind of point just over a couple of years ago where you had big banks buying small online banks, you know, banks with no branches, basically digital only banks, which is what MetaPlanet is looking for. Okay, they're looking to take some of that Bitcoin treasury to buy a bank. Wow. To buy a bank, get some deposits in, all that good stuff, and do the whole bank thing. I'm looking for banks that are looking to buy exchanges that are looking to increase services and increase their reach. Kraken went the other way. They bought NinjaTrader, filed to become a bank. They are a bank now. Kraken's a bigger problem for companies right now than people might think. They really are. They really, really are. They're not playing. Aloha 8 paws in the house. Congrats on a good move yesterday, trading your PAX-G Hutanic. Yep, that was a good move. That was a good move. I was very low on PAX-G, so I left my PAX-G alone. I did other things. Just saying. But so yeah, you said other, you also say GMX. Okay, so you and a couple others said GMX. Now, would I buy an exchange if I was a bank? Yeah. That's the fastest way for you to get into the crypto space. And then you can integrate on the back end later. Buy an exchange, make sure the accounting all flows back to the parent company, and then integrate the tech on the back end. What's the first thing you're going to want to do? You're going to make on-ramping of money very easy. That'll be the first bridge you make. Smart move to make, right? So could I buy a small exchange? That exchange immediately gains popularity. Why? Because they're attached to a bank. And everybody's going to think, oh, that exchange must be good. Checkbox, right? Checkbox, bam. And then they start assets under management. That starts to grow. People start using exchange because more and more people want to do that. Now, what's the big problem that I keep telling you guys? The big problem I keep telling you guys is the fact that banks are going to have to educate their customers about crypto. Here's the other problem about banks. If they don't educate their customers about crypto, they will go to companies like Kraken. That's going to be a very big deal. That's why I said Kraken's a thorn in the side of a lot of these banks, large and small, and everybody in between. Just saying. Nah, Hutanic, I'm pretty sure you did some research on that, and it was a calculated risk, right? It was a risk on move, but it was a calculated risk on move. Because what do? We have the GMB3, right? Do your own research, know your entries and exits, and absolutely invest deliberately. Hutanic said he absolutely invested deliberately. We all know that he does his research, and he picked his entry. He knew exactly what he was doing. That's what we're talking about. That's not true either, Lex. You could have zero risk with tons of profit. You really can. You want to know how you do that? You buy an exchange. I know I'm being a pain in the butt. You buy an exchange. I'm telling you, if I'm a bank regional, national, international. I'm looking to buy an exchange. What else do you get when you buy an exchange? You get the talent that's with it. You don't just get the assets under management. You don't just get the cash cow that it is, right? You don't get all the money that's in the bank that it has. You also get the development talent. So if I'm a bank, I'm looking to buy an exchange. If all you banks are out there, you should be calling me up to help you figure all this out. But yeah, I'm looking to buy an exchange with a quickness. With a quickness. Because building your own, you're not going to get there fast enough. You are not going to get there fast enough. Right? You're just absolutely not. I mean, Kraken has expanded X stocks to BNB chain. Kraken expanded X stocks to BNB chain, enabling global access to tokenized equities. These are not small moves. These are not in any way small moves. These are big deals. By the way, the SEC, Mama Crypto, Hester Pierce said, even though it's tokenized, it's still a security. Yeah, it's absolutely still a security. It's a stock, absolutely still a security. Dead serious. I completely agree with that. Completely agree with that. So yeah, I'm looking at that and I'm saying to myself, there's a lot of stuff we can do. And if I'm a bank, I am all about buying an exchange. I will get there fast. I'll have a lot to talk about. I will have news for days. So-and-so buy so-and-so. I mean, I don't know if crypto.com is for sale, but I'd be looking at crypto.com. Crypto.com is making moves. They just expanded their crypto payments into Dubai. That's big. That's bigger than big. Imagine you're a regional bank, but you just happen to have enough money to buy something like a crypto.com. Maybe you're a smaller national bank. You just happen to have enough money to buy crypto.com. You want to know a small national bank that could do it? Probably Wells Fargo. I know it sounds insane, but I think Wells Fargo has enough money that they could pull that off. So imagine a Wells Fargo buying a crypto.com that immediately gives them international reach. Immediately gives them international reach. Why would you not do that? You do not have to be integrated to make noise in that space. You do not. A lot of banks are thinking they're taking the tack of, well, if we want to offer crypto, we have to integrate crypto and blah, blah, blah. It's probably going to cost you a lot of time, a lot of money. You will fall short. There's no ifs, ands, buts, or suppose that you're going to fall short. You are going to fall short. Period. You will absolutely fall short. But what do? Right? If you buy an exchange, you're automatically ahead of the game. You're automatically ahead of everybody except Kraken. Just saying. You're automatically ahead of everybody except Kraken. Kraken made their lives easier by becoming a bank because why? You can deposit money into your accounts now. It's a lot easier. Ta-da! Yeah. So on-ramping is no longer a problem for Kraken. They have NinjaTrader. Look at that whole setup, and then look at other banks that are probably sitting on a lot of money. Look at a lot of other banks that are sitting on a lot of money. They could probably sit there and be like, oh, we could do that. We could buy one of these little guys. You're looking for the talent, the assets under management, the number of coins that are being traded on that platform, and then you can integrate later. The only thing that you want to integrate is you want to make it so that you can easily transfer funds between the two entities. You want to get to that real fast. You want to make the on-ramping of money real fast. You want to make that as easy as possible, as fast as possible. Find the right situation. So when I look at the market going up, I'm sitting back and I'm kind of going, oh man, banks better wake up. This is the time of centralized and decentralized exchanges. It really is. They make money hand over fist, backwards and forwards. Oh, banks are allowed to have their own stable coins now. How many banks have their own stable coins now? See where I'm going? How many banks have their own stable coins now? I think it's somewhere between goose and egg. There's a lot going on. There is a lot going on. Now, no risk, no profit with biggest and most important layer one, and Oracle risk is smallest next to BTC. You have to think about that. No, I'm still going to go by the GMB X factor. I'm still going to use that as my guide. Because for example, Chainlink is an Oracle, not a layer one. So there are layer twos, right? That could work. Just saying. You have to do your own research, know your entries and exits, and absolutely invest deliberately. That's all you need to do. That's all you need to do. So I'm kind of like, well, that'll work. That would work. Just do your own research. That's a good belief to have, and it's pretty solid. I have a tool that tells me you might be able to make some more money someplace else, me personally. Everybody's risk framework is going to be different. How you manage your bags is going to be different. So that's one surefire way to manage your bag. I'm just looking at things from a different perspective. That's all. That's all. So I'm not putting down the idea. I'm noting that I'm thinking differently from Lex. Lex is thinking differently from Hutanik, who's thinking differently from Rick, who's thinking differently from my mother, who's thinking differently from my cousin. You know what I mean? This is what I'm talking about. The whole idea is to share ideas, and we might be able to pick out some pearls for ourselves that might work for us. Just saying. Just saying. You want to know another big deal that happened? RLUSD hit $500 million. $500 million market cap. And they're now working with BNY Mellon to handle their reserves for their stablecoin. Wow. BNY is one of the oldest banks in the United States. That's a big deal. That's a very, very, very big deal. That's a loud and proud big deal kind of deal going on right there. So I'm sitting back and I'm kind of like, ooh, that's going to make some noise. So we had a couple of things, and I said it before. I don't see anything. I don't see any standalone thing by itself being a big catalyst. I said I think I see a few things converging at once that could become a catalyst. We had that happen. We had that happen. And here we are. Just saying. You want to hear something funny? So the founder of Pump.Fund used to get out there talking about pre-sales of tokens is a scam and blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. Guess who's doing a pre-sale of their Pump coin? Bybit and Mexi. Guess who's doing a pre-sale? Yeah, Pump.Fund. Interesting, no? Yeah, pretty interesting to me. Oh, it's a scam. And then you turn around and do the scam. Okay. All right. But now you know why I'm not really a fan of Pump.fun. Yeah, that's where we launched our coin, GMB TV, in case you're interested. But I'm not really a fan of Pump.fun. It's a very contradictory, business philosophy going on there. Not to mention, bots everywhere. Bots everywhere. Just from what I see, I mean, there have been studies, but from what I see, 90% of the action on Pump.fun, bots. Faking people out, just bots. The hell I need with a bot. All right. See how that goes. Link is going to do very well, guys. Link might not do well like really fast, but Link is going to do well over a period of time. It's going to steadily do well. Connective tissue. Remember that term? I use connective tissue as a term all the time. Chainlink is a part of the connective tissue. Chainlink, BNB chain, BCH, Cardano's building itself out to be a part of the connective tissue. Ethereum, Aptos, Optimism, Arbitrum, even. I'm telling you, there are certain coins out there that their blockchains are a part of the connective tissue, and Link is a huge piece of it. See something going on in DeFi? Chainlink's not that far away. Banks want to get into DeFi? Chainlink. Yeah, they might be doing something over here with this chain, but Chainlink is also going to be involved. It's an oracle. Their data is no joke. So yeah, to me, I look at Chainlink as sure money. No joke. Not even cracking jokes about it. I think it's sure money. I do. Cowardly lion. Just saying. For us old folks, we'll catch that. Galaxy Digital partners with Fireblocks to provide staking access to 2,000 financial institutions, large financial institutions. Thank you very much. A lot of people kind of sleep on Galaxy Digital. But Galaxy Digital in the crypto space has a lot of tentacles. A lot of tentacles. They do. They're involved with mining, data centers, services. They've got a lot of tentacles. They're not silly. And don't forget, they're publicly traded now. So you can catch them on either side. You can catch them. I'm telling you, pay attention. That's another one to pay attention to. Tom Lee predicts early Bitcoin adoption. He says that Bitcoin adoption is just at the early stages and it's picking up quickly. And what he means by adoption is people and businesses being involved with crypto. Telling you, things are exploding. ARK signals, and here's the contradiction. ARK issued a bearish signal suggesting Bitcoin's price stability may face challenges in the near term. Possible. And don't forget, she's got I think Kathy Wood has a $1 million thought process for Bitcoin by 2030. It's either 1 million or 1.5. I know there's a number in there that's 1.5 million. I just forget the year, but I know by 2030 she's thinking it's going to hit 1 million. Ta-da! Just saying, there's so much going on in this space. So much. Let's see, what else? The SEC warns, like I said, tokenization. You want to tokenize a stock? It's still a security. Still under SEC jurisdiction. I have no issue with that. None. So long as we're getting stocks into the hands of regular people, I'm cool with that. I'm absolutely cool with that. Be more specific. What move? What is the realistic move between now and Q4? You mean like the beginning of Q4 or the end of Q4? For SHIB, I think SHIB is a silent grower. If SHIB drops any kind of positive news by the end of the year, they'll hit their all-time high. That's honestly what I think. That's honestly what I think, is that they would hit their all-time high. Real easy. Real easy. Right now, it's ranked number 22. It's up 4.59%. It's got a GMB X factor of 5.98. Positive news between now and Q4, SHIB could do it. Because remember, SHIB's a meme coin, but SHIB's a meme coin with an ecosystem. They're only a meme coin by name. Like, I don't even call them a meme coin. They've got an ecosystem. If they drop some good news, that can be something. That could absolutely be something. And right on their heels is freaking H-bar. A GMB X factor of 2.33. Would I take a loss on SHIB to swing to Link? No. Basically, I can't. All 100% of my SHIB is in the black. 100%. All of it. Because I already took my capital, my initial investment out and moved it over someplace else. As a matter of fact, I think a piece of it went to Link. So 100% of my SHIB is just free money. Now, if it wasn't, would I take a loss on SHIB to move to Link? No. Still no. Why is that? Well, in the past 24 hours, Chainlink is up 2.27%. Shiba Inu is up 4.59%. So yeah, no, I wouldn't be taking a loss. I wouldn't. That would not be a bet that I would make. I would do the math between any two coins. I'd be looking at the rhythm. I'd be looking at the breakdowns. 1 hour, 24 hour, 7 day, 30 day, 60 day, 90 day, year to date to see what's the feel of the coin, right? Shiba Inu all-time high changed. It's down 86%, 85%. I'd be chilling. Lex, no, you don't know, but that's why you do calculations. That's why you're weighing your risk. This is why I preach having a risk framework, right? But you can literally run the math between two different coins and see at what periods do they compare, which one overall is the better coin for earnings, all that kind of stuff, right? I'm going to buy Link for a different reason that I buy SHIB. But if I'm already holding SHIB, would I flip my SHIB to go buy Link? No. If I had money sitting on the sidelines and I wanted to buy something, am I going to buy SHIB or would I buy Link? I'd be buying Link. So it's almost like it's a trick question. I'd be buying Link. In no way does Shiba Inu compare to Chainlink. There's no comparison. So if I had to think of one that's going to have the longevity, of course I'm looking at Chainlink. If I'm looking at can I make money? Well, let's see. Chainlink's GMB X factor is 2.70. And Shiba Inu's is 5.98. Might as well call it 6. If Shiba Inu makes it only halfway to its all-time high, it's outpacing Chainlink if it gets to its all-time high. Just saying. Link is in no way a sleeper. It's in no way a sleeper. If you do your own research, know your entries and exits, and absolutely invest deliberately, Link is not a sleeper. In no way. In no way. You should... It's the world's #1 oracle by far. Nobody's even close. I mean, you got to stop to think that, oh yeah, Pith exists. See what I mean? So there's that. I can understand your thought process, but there's no way in the world I'm taking a loss on SHIB. If I'm not in on either one and I have a choice, I'm buying Link. Okay? But even that's only because I have a deep feeling about Link's connective tissue status. But if I run the numbers and I say Shiba Inu only makes it halfway to their all-time high while Chainlink hits its all-time high, Shiba Inu wins. Shiba Inu wins by 0.3 GMB factor. The math isn't lying. Hum's house was good. Did you invest in yourself today? You also have to think, well, what's a sleeper? Right? Thank you, Hutanic. What's the definition of a sleeper? It's something that you believe is going to make it. And I just told you guys, there's no way in the world that anybody could possibly think that Chainlink is a sleeper. With all of its tentacles, who they're in bed with, who has to be in bed with them. I'm just saying, if you want to do anything in DeFi, you better be dealing with Chainlink. You better be dealing with Chainlink, right? Now, you could do your settlements with an XRP or Hedera. You know, you could do settlements like that. But if you want to do tokenization, if you want to do DeFi, who you going to call? Oh, man, I'm just dating myself again. Damn. I know my mother's cracking up because I know she's listening. I know she's cracking up. But yeah, I think about that. I really do think about that. Right? So like I said, if I'm holding Shiba Inu and I want to get into Link, I'm not trading it. I'm just going to let it rock. If I have extra money and I have a choice between the two, I'm probably going to buy Link. Believe it or not, even if they both hit it, the riskier bet is actually Shiba Inu. Why is that? Well, Link doesn't have to prove itself. It doesn't have to do anything. They're going to call Chainlink. Shiba Inu, on the other side, they've got to keep banging on that ecosystem. Now, let's suppose Shiba Inu actually does hit its all-time high. In the same time frame, Shiba Inu blows Chainlink out the water. They both hit their all-time high within the same time frame. Shiba Inu blows Chainlink out the water. Now you know why I'm not moving. But you see how different people have to manage their bags differently. I'm already holding Link. I'm already holding Shiba Inu. I'm not going to take old money, take a loss, and put it over here when the potential, even at just the 50% mark, is better than where I would move it. SHIB has made me too much money to bail on them now. Yeah, that's how I feel about it. I've been rocking with SHIB for years. I told you, my son put me onto that. I've been rocking with SHIB for a minute. Riskier because it's just a coin. Chainlink, part of the foundation, part of the connective tissue. And the reason why I'm harping on this so much is because in this case, that's how I feel. In another case, I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, nah. Like the other night, Hutanic said, hey, I dropped a whole bunch of Pax G to get into Link and Ethereum. And look at how he's doing today. What was that commercial? That's my cold cuts. Get some cold cuts. Yeah, he's dancing. He's dancing. I'd be dancing. So yeah, when I look at things, I'm really looking at, like, people thought I was crazy when I said I'm going to create the GMB X Factor. This is why I'm creating it, and this is how I'm going to use it. It has opened my eyes up to so many different things, so many different opportunities. It forces me to look at the math. And it's kind of like, yeah, I think that one's going to do well. Yeah, I think that one's going to do well. I could put a number on those two things. And then I can look at the GMB X Factor and be like, what? Because at first you have the GMB X Factor all the way over here, right? And over here you have, well, what are the odds of this one making it? Do I feel good? Like, what's my rating on this one? Oh, they're both equal? Okay, good. They're both equal. Now, let's go over here and let me look at my GMB X Factor. Oh. This one has a higher GMB X Factor. It's going to come back. Oh. You hear what I said about Sandbox? Sandbox has got a GMB X Factor that's ridiculously high. Right? It's like 40 and change. 40 point something and change. Yeah. So when I look at Sandbox, Decentraland, those are gaming platforms. They're not making a comeback yet. But that space is growing. It's bubbling. It's kind of simmering right now. And what do people do when they run out of money? What's their only entertainment when they run out of money? They'll be surfing the internet and they'll be playing games. And a lot of people will be like, oh, well, that just means they're going to get on their gaming console and go play one of their cartridge games and blah, blah, blah. And I'll be like, a lot of people are putting on their VR headsets. Where do they go? Decentraland, Sandbox, other gaming sites. Because it's fun, it's different. You have a lot of fun on these other games, of course. That's why they have gaming stations. But I can have totally different experiences when I put on a VR headset. And now I'm off having fun in different ways. Aha. That's why I think gaming is going to come back. That's why I think gaming is going to... Also, I'm on the Metaverse Standards Forum, and so I get to see and read about things that other people, regular people, don't see. Wow. And then something else that I think is going to help explode the gaming space. And I know it's an overused thing, but yeah, AI. So now all my NPCs, they explode with, different layers of interaction. Now instead of repeating the same line over and over and over again, they can at the very least say the same line, but in different ways, making it a little bit more fun. Have a smart mouth guy who says, yeah, he went over that way. And the other guy who's got a more smart mouth, well, he didn't go that way. And now you're talking about how one guy was honest and the other guy was a smart aleck and blah, 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 blah. It really changes the level of play. Simple things. Charles Hoskinson described leveraging AI within a gaming space. You should go listen to that interview. That was crazy. NPCs that created their own government and all that stuff because they were interacting with each other. They just put them all in there and they just started doing their own thing. Imagine. Gaming's about to get seriously upgraded. Whole society's up in there. Yeah. So do I have faith in gaming? Yes. Do I think gaming is going to make it back for what we're calling this cycle, to use a term that everybody's still using, cycle? Fine. Do I think they make it back within this cycle? No. But do I think they can make... excuse me. Let me go get the exact numbers. Control F. Sand. All right, so there's the Sandbox. They have a GMB X Factor, my bad, 30.47. Do I think they're going to make 30.47? No, I don't. Imagine if they did. But no, I don't think they're going to make it. Divide it by 4. Divide it by 4. And then you're sitting there going, that's a GMB X factor of 7 point something. If they only made it 25% back toward their all-time high, that's a GMB X factor of 7 point something. Now you know why I do the math. Now you know why I do the math. I pay attention to that stuff. What was the other one? Control F. I just said it. What's the other one? There's Sandbox, and the other one, come on, begins with a D. What was the other one? Was it Decentraland? Yeah, Decentraland. Now this is crazy. Decentraland Mana has a GMB X factor of 19.76. And you see what's going on there. Kopi is not within the top 250, so I'm not paying attention to Kopi. Really not. Does Sandbox have the highest GMB X factor in the top 100? Not in the top 100, but in the top 250. They're at 30.47. Let me see if there's a name in there that would catch our attention in that space. Actually, I can take you guys with me. Here you go. Come on with me. So we sorted by GMB X factor. Don't ask me. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, that's not a thing. I'm not. No. Not this one. Yeah, no, not at all. I think it's a scam. This one, I have no experience. I have no desire to follow that whatsoever at all, ever. And this is why. So yeah, no. What else do we have? Flow. I used to hold a bag of Flow. I took a loss on it. Not a big loss, but I took a loss and it hurt. And there you go. Right? Filecoin. Wow. Imagine. Axie Infinity is another one. Do I think it's going to make that? No, but it's a popular gaming platform. So anything in the gaming space, I think, has potential, just no time soon. Divide that by 10. Divide that by 10. It's still a 7 point something. So I have to do the math. When do I think gaming is going to come back? Would I put a couple of bucks in it and just let it sit there? If my game plan is to wait until 2028 or 2030, I might drop a couple of bucks in Axie Infinity and know that I could walk away with, some dough. I only make it back 25% of the way, 10% of the way. 10% of the way is still a 7.13 GMB X factor. What? Again, this is why I have to do the math. Coinbase just got listed. Kopi just got listed on Coinbase today for New York people. Yes. Don't care. I'm still not following Kopi. It's not within the top 250 coins. And it's a chance that I don't feel like taking. I might have, when we first started talking about it, I might have bought a little bit of a bag, but not enough for me to say, oh, I've got a bag. Maybe I got a purse. Maybe I got a little, that extra pocket. I got a little change pocket of it. But I can't remember. That's how much I don't follow Kopi. Oh, dude, GTA 6. Oh, yeah. That's, Max, you're right. That could be interesting. Yeah, Hutanic, I'm just being honest, man. I might have bought some just back in the while when we first started talking about it. The big baggers started talking about it, and I said, I'll put a couple of bucks on it. I did that with I know I did with Peak, and I've been getting hammered by Peak, absolutely hammered. Yeah, see, it's not even in the top 250. That's why I don't, I don't really do that kind of stuff. There's too many places over here within the top 250 that I can make some money. You know what I mean? Hold it. Let me see something. The Sandbox and 652 million, sort of under $1 billion. I'm just saying, if you're looking at, let's go by market cap. All right, the smallest market cap in the top 250 is 272 million. I'm just saying, like, I look at everything, you know, large cap, mid cap, micro cap, and an eensy weensy micro cap, like mini micro cap. You see how far you can go from you know, number one Bitcoin all the way down to 250 turbo. You got a lot of stuff in there that you can make money. To go below that, I don't know about that. And look at the price. People are driven by price, and they're not really driven by anything else. That's why I created the GMB X Factor. Kind of levels everything off. If I have $1,000 and I put it on this and it hits its GMB X Factor, I've made 2.64x in addition to what I had, right? Okay, cool. It's got a low number. If I'm trying to see if there's another one that's similar, I'm still going to make the same money if it costs $1,000. If this costs $1,000 and it's 2.64 GMB X Factor, I'm still going to make the same percentage. I put the same $1,000 down. I'm going to make the same money. Just saying, people need to start rethinking how they do that math. That's why I created the GMB X Factor, because it level sets. It puts everything on the same par. Boom. It's no joke. It is no joke. That's why I did it. Everybody's like, oh, well, you know, anybody could do that. No, nobody did. And let me tell you that using the GMB crypto tracker is so helpful. It is so helpful. It's not even funny. Yes, I know I have to launch it for everybody and give you guys access and all that good stuff. It's coming. It's coming. I won't release something that's, you know, has things that would stop you from enjoying yourself, because I don't want you people talking crap about me. So I got to release stuff that's good. You know what I mean? But yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot. Anyway, everybody, this is Eddie J on Crypto for GrowMyBag.tv. Hope you like what I'm doing. Let's go to the votes. 11 votes. What crypto exchange was just hacked for $42 million? Yeah, it was GMX. It was GMX. That's who got hacked. So everybody who put in other, I know Rick Ritchie said GMX. I know 8paws said GMX. That's who it was. Wow. Remember I asked the question earlier, would I buy a crypto platform that was hacked? Possibly. If I was a bank, possibly. Catch that thing at a discount. Swoop in and save the day. Grab the resources. Still do forensics on how everything happened and all that good stuff. But that's something you can fix. Anybody can be hacked, as proven by Coinbase. Anybody can get hacked. So, no different. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Anybody can get hacked. So, would I buy an exchange like that? Probably. You could probably still snatch up WazirX. I wouldn't buy WazirX because I don't trust their management. Remember that whole debacle with WazirX? They got hacked, and then, you know, the whole debacle with Binance and CZ. Yeah, no, they didn't handle themselves well. But I'm looking for the technology, and I'm looking for the technical hands. And I'm looking to see, well, what cryptos do you have running around on there? I would absolutely do it. Kidding me? Heck yeah. Absolutely. Abso-freaking-schmootly, I would do that. Absolutely. There's no way in the world I wouldn't. Right? Like I'd have to see huge gaping holes. Gaping holes for me to not want to buy, you know, GMX or another small exchange. Just saying, you get your hands on an exchange if you're a regional bank, anything like that, you big bank, small bank, whatever, you could make some serious inroads like that. Increase your assets under management like this. The exchange automatically gets automatic credibility. Telling you, you could do some stuff. You could do some stuff. I would cause some waves. I'd be on the phone, be like, go get that for me. I want it for Christmas. Christmas is tomorrow. Go get it. Like I said, I don't have to, if I'm a bank and I want to introduce crypto, I can build it into my existing platforms, which will be costly, take a long time, won't be perfect because my internal staff does not know about that stuff. Just because you have a stock trading platform does not mean you understand crypto trading. They're different animals. They're different animals. Totally different products. Similar, vastly different. Vastly different. So what I snatch up, you have a $42 million problem. You have a $42 million problem. I can make that go away, and I can make sure you have jobs after this. I can even give you fat paychecks. What's up? Happen like that. What do you figure? They're trading at least, I mean, I haven't done any research on GMX yet, but they're trading at least, what, 50 coins? That's more than you're going to trade. Any bank that's trying to integrate right now, how many coins do you think they're actually going to start trading? Bitcoin, right? They have to have the liquidity. So Bitcoin, Ethereum, maybe you get lucky, they do Solana. Maybe you have the top 5 coins. Maybe, if you get lucky. But I buy an exchange, I'm in the mix. I am in the mix. Making big noise. Big noise. Doing a happy dance. Because it's an immediate win. I said it before. As soon as I buy that exchange gets clout and credibility. What's the next thing I do? I integrate accounting systems. Why? Because if I integrate accounting systems, that means I can now make it easy for people to on-ramp and off-ramp their money. And while they're doing that, I can advertise to them the other products and services that I have offered by the bank. Ooh. Know your products and services. Just saying. So that's what I'd be looking at. Anyway, everybody, this is Eddie J on Crypto for GrowMyBag.tv. I hope you like what I'm doing. If you do me a favor, smash the likes. Tell your friends about us because we're growing. We're growing a lot. And I think we're going to grow some more very soon. We've got hopes and dreams that we hit 25,000 subscribers on YouTube by the end of the year. We need to hit that number. We're at 50. We're at over 15 right now. We're almost at 15.5. I think we can do 25. I think we can do 25. And like I said, we just have a lot going on. We know. You're a good man. Things are looking good. Trueflation is showing good numbers for Fed to start acting in our favor. The Fed has been acting in our favor, believe it or not. Navigating all this chaos. Tariff deals, no tariff deals, more tariff, catastrophes going on. That's right. The big bagger meeting is Sunday. Thank you for reminding me, Rick Ritchie. The big bagger meeting is this Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will send out the invitations tomorrow because I'm freaking tired. I'll send them out tomorrow. I know I was supposed to get it out to you guys before, but if you want to be a big bagger, you better become a big bagger and make sure I have your email address to invite you to this private video conference call. And for all my big baggers, send me an email and let me know if there's something that you want to talk about during the meeting. We'll put it on the agenda. We're going to try to run a little bit tighter of an agenda. But let me know what you're thinking. Anyway, this is Eddie J on Crypto for GrowMyBag.tv. Really, thank you for your time. Thank you for your patience. And as always, thank you for your trust. Everybody have a good one. Bye-bye. See you tomorrow morning.